Oh yeah, going on in. So what's going on, guys? It's Matteo here. And if you've just purchased your side-by-side and you're wondering, what's the first accessory I should get for it? I'm gonna say you probably want to consider getting something to cover your roof. Now, it's a little cloudy out, but it's not raining right now. I'll tell you what, when the rain starts coming, you definitely don't enjoy operating your vehicle in those conditions. At least I don't. And as I drive through the woods here, ever so carefully, pretty obvious I'm subject to leaves and sticks entering my workspace. Fortunately, the folks at Kemimoto reached out to me, and they've got a soft roof covering they want me to test out today. So I figured we would unbox it, install it, try it out, and see how that improves the enjoyment and operation of this vehicle. So let's get over to the shed and get to work here. Oh yeah, let's see what we got here. Weird. All right, yeah, there we go. I rest my case, Your Honor. Getting ready to unbox the Kemimoto soft top for the Pioneer 1005. Shout out to Kemimoto. Thank you for sending this my way, letting me test it out. My vehicle is presently topless, so I'm super excited to check this out. I'm gonna get it unboxed, installed, and then we're gonna put it through the gauntlet in the woods there. We'll see how it holds up. Forecast says we might even get some rain today. Maybe we'll get some rainwater testing in. I have experience with soft tops on this vehicle. Don't remember the brand of soft top I had, but I was not a huge fan of it. It held up for a couple years, light duty use. As soon as I moved out here though, this woods ripped it to shreds. It really wasn't up for the job. So I'm hoping this top is made a little bit better. Kemimoto advises that they have a fabric that is extra durable. Let's find out. I'm hoping that's the case because looking at this online, it looks like it has some pretty nice features. We have a sunroof. Another thing I like about it, it looks like it's very self-contained as far as the installation goes. My previous soft top had a system of fiberglass poles that kind of provided an arch to it for, I'm guessing, water shedding purposes. Kind of seemed like a good idea, but in reality, it wasn't that effective. It would still belly, you know, when rainwater would collect. And ultimately, the fiberglass poles ended up breaking. So good intentions, I guess, but not really well executed. I'm gonna see how this one fits. It's a soft top. There may very well be some bellying that happens with water, but if you're moving around, water shouldn't collect. Without further ado, let me get this unboxed. We'll see what we've got. We'll get it installed on the vehicle and we will see how it holds up. We've got Sriracha the dog helping me out today. Quite important detail there. Let's see what's inside. All right, pretty simple. I'll rip this bag open. One page of directions. We'll take a look at that. And essentially, we are looking at the top here. Let me get this unfolded. Yeah, child, what are you thinking? So I'm having flashbacks to my previous soft top, and I know the interior of the fabric was not a closed cell design like this. This looks very waterproof. This looks like a really nice design. And I was kind of leaning towards not getting a fabric top again, but looking at this fabric, I'm actually having renewed confidence. This might actually hold up pretty well, especially out in the woods where all the sticks are ready to attack anything soft like this. I also wanted to point out, it looks like all the mounting hardware, as far as the straps go, are permanently attached to the top. Looks like a nice feature as far as installation goes. So I've had a quick look at the directions here. Seems very straightforward. Kemimoto says It should take approximately 10 minutes to get this installed. I think that's a safe bet. Basically, there's various straps here. I'm counting, looks like about 20 straps here. To determine the front versus the rear of this is your sunroof, and that is going to be over the driver cab right up front. I need to peel the vines off my machine. I hope that doesn't count towards the 10 minutes. Once I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and get this installed. So let's do it. I'm gonna kind of get this thing laid up over the frame here. And I'm just trying to situate these corners in general. There we go. Okay. You may notice I have some accessories I need to work around. I've got my light bar, I've got my gun rack. So we will see how this fits. Okay. All right, so it's laid in place at this point. The next thing I'm gonna do is go through the different straps to secure them. And essentially, I'm gonna be working from the front and the rear middle for the A straps, looking at the directions, and then we kind of work out to B and C. They go out from the middle, 2 different sets. And then there's a set of D straps in the middle. So A, B, C, D, alphabetical order. We refer to the instructions, pretty straightforward. I'm gonna get to tighten those now. So we have our first set of A straps up front here. I'm gonna secure those. A nice little Velcro connection. They recommend doing it loosely at first. We've got 4 for our front A straps. And then we got 4 more in the back. All right, A straps in the back. And if you made them too tight up front, you might have an issue in the back here. Make sure you're using that little plastic loop. With the A straps secured, I'm gonna move on to the B straps. There are 4 B straps, and they're kind of intermediate between the front, the middle, and the back rails. I need a little this way. And this is why Kemimoto recommends not tightening these up too much initially. If you have to slide it over, it might be a little easier. So what I just noticed is because I've got my light bar centered, it's pretty much preventing those straps from coming over and getting this thing nice and lined up in the middle. So my workaround is I just have the inner 2 A straps disconnected at this time. I'm gonna kind of work in an X pattern. Let's just raise that way. If you're running into any kind of difficulties, I would say just kind of loosen up on one side, on the opposite side, so you can have some wiggle room there. With the B straps out of the way, we're gonna move on to our C straps. You'll find 6 C straps in total. They're on the pillars here. You got your front pillar, middle pillar, and your rear pillar, and similar arrangement. Lastly, we've got our D straps. You'll see I've got a speaker here. Looks like it might have a little fitment issue on one side. Let's find out. That one works. Now this speaker's a tight fit right up against the bar here. All right. So there it is. We've got the Kemimoto soft top installed. It took about 10 minutes, just like they said. Very straightforward. The biggest piece of advice I would share is to not over tighten the straps as you go. And that way you'll have enough slack in it as you move around if you've got to shift it one way or the other. And then at the end, you know, if you've got a side that's a little bit loose, you can snug it up there. As you can see, I had a couple little obstacles with my aftermarket accessories. I've got my light bar. I think I'm gonna be able to shift that over just a little bit. I'll have enough room where I can get that strap secure and everything can coexist. My speaker is actually molded into the roll cage bar. So what I need to do there is I'm just gonna loosen the speaker a little bit, get enough room so I can get that strap beneath it, and then I'll snug it back up. And I should be in business there. And another thing I wanna mention, my gun rack, it does not interfere with the installation of this roof cover. But for today, I'm gonna be disconnecting it, and that's just so I can fully enjoy the sunroof in all its glory. I'm gonna just take a couple minutes to play around with those things, and I'll have this fully installed. We will put it to the paces in the woods and see how it does. I'm excited. And I just wanna point out, I just shifted my light bar over. You'll see there's a little bit of contact between this soft top and the light bar bracket, but really it's not impeding the installation in any discernible way. So all is well. We were able to get those straps in. I just had to loosen things up, and we've got a snug fit. Just something you gotta consider when you've got accessories. And I also took the liberty of removing the gun rack so we can now enjoy this top in all of its glory. Let's check it out. So before I go for a cruise and really test this thing out, I wanna check out the sunroof. I think that might be my favorite feature about this soft top here. That's pretty cool. It rolls up out of the way. Same style Velcro straps as the rest of the topper. And there we go. Nice. It's not the brightest day, but I think that's a pretty nice feature. I think I picked up every vine I could find out there. We definitely had some abrasion to this topper. It's unavoidable out there. And just looking around, I'd have to say she held up pretty well. Got some scuffs there, no tears whatsoever. Yeah. Hey now, impressive. So I'm gonna say from personal experience with my previous soft top, which was noticeably thinner material, that thing got shredded out there. After a few runs through the woods, it was so torn up, I threw it off. Just rode about a half hour back there with additional vine and tree issues due to a recent storm. That trail was a mess and I just cleaned it up, but there's still a lot of stuff hanging around. I'm impressed by it. It held up nicely, no signs of tearing, and I expect to get a few solid years out of it. So what I'm gonna do now, I think I got a rainy day tomorrow, so we will test riding this thing out in the rain. I wanna test out how waterproof it is and see if it's got any issues with pooling of water on the top. It doesn't have any sort of structure outside of the built-in Pioneer roll cage. So I don't know if it's gonna be susceptible to any sort of water issues. So fingers crossed we get a rainy day tomorrow and I can do a proper test. Stay tuned. All right, everyone, it's the next day and I'd like to share my hidden talent with you. I can control the weather. And it's simple. All I have to do is leave my brand new zero-turn lawnmower outside, my side-by-side outside, and the shed doors wide open, and boom, rain. So with a little bit of rainfall overnight, it's given me the opportunity to check out this soft top. Unfortunately, and what will not go down in history as my greatest achievement, I left the sunroof open. And spoiler alert, the sunroof has a mesh screen and water will easily permeate it. So water was on the seat when I checked it out this morning. No surprise there. However, the back half of the vehicle, completely dry, running my hand over the roof, no signs of moisture intrusion present. So good stuff there. This material, I would say, is top notch. It's abrasion resistant, and it looks like they've done a great job of making it very, very, very moisture resistant. Now the rest of the vehicle is still open. It's not gonna seal up your vehicle like caulking your covered wagon and crossing the river in Oregon Trail, but it's a very nice layer of moisture defense. Another thing I was concerned about based on my previous experience with these soft top roofs is the fact that water can pool and collect. In fact, the arch in my previous roof made a nice dome shape to it, but the structure was not effective at actually shedding water. So that extra material would invert when I'd get heavy rain and I'd have gallons of water sitting on my roof, and the material didn't do a good job of keeping that water out. So I would have a very slow drip like a coffee filter in my vehicle. Checking it out today, there's a little bit of standing water up there, but it's not pooling in a out of control fashion. And I think with any sort of motion, any kind of water collection on the roof would be limited. It uses the existing structure of the vehicle in a very positive way to accomplish the job. Let's go park in the sun. Let's see how this roof does, keeping out the sunlight. Hey, where's the sun? There it is. Now I just parked directly in the sunlight. And I'll tell you what, this thing blocks out 100% of the sun. Pretty understandable given it's an opaque, solid material. It's hard to believe, just looking out this side of the vehicle, that the sun is right there. Because inside the cab, I'm completely in the shade and ready to crack open an adult beverage. That's not a bad idea. All right, everyone, you just checked out the Kemimoto Pioneer 1005 soft top roof. My thoughts on it, I think it's a very well-made product. I think it's a tremendous value for the price they're listing it at. The material is very high quality. It looks like it's gonna hold up to abrasion damage. Taken out in the woods, I didn't see any tears or anything like that. A little bit of scuffing because I've, coming in contact with tree branches and stuff. But my impression of the material is that it's going to hold up for a long time, and I really don't have any concerns about that. And I'm coming from a place where I had pretty much written off a soft top for this vehicle because my previous soft top, not only was it more expensive, but the quality of the material was noticeably less thick. The sunroof is a really cool feature that's nice to have. Open that thing up and enjoy being outside. I think that's a really nice touch. I would say a downside with that sunroof is you have the zipper arrangement, and the zipper unfortunately is not watertight. So I think you can expect to see some water intrusion from the zippered area if you're gonna be in a heavy rain situation, or if you are sitting still somewhere and water's collecting on the roof. That being said, the material overall looks like it's very watertight. The rear of the vehicle, leaving it out in the rain one night, the back stayed pretty much dry. So the material itself is capable of being very water resistant. I would venture to say if they had a version of this top without the sunroof, a more watertight option, that would probably fit the bill. But for me, I love having the sunroof. I think that's a cool feature. Very nice to see on something like this. It does a great job keeping the sunlight out. So when you're outside riding around hours on end, you won't be getting a sunburn, not on your head or shoulders or neck. You should be good. Overall, great product, Kemimoto. I'm impressed. I'm a believer, once again, in the soft top roofs. They're convenient, you can take them off. They do have a lot of positive features. They are less expensive than a hard top roof. It's less heartbreaking if something does happen to it. I think overall, Kemimoto hits it out of the park in terms of price, in terms of quality, and in terms of features. I'm impressed. Thank you again, Kemimoto, for reaching out to me, let me try this out. Thank you all for watching, I appreciate it. Be sure, like, subscribe, leave feedback, tell me what you think, and I look forward to making the next video and having you check it out. Until next time, everyone, Matteo, out.